your seat.
Now, you come across that middle, you had some meat on your bone.
Oh, yes. I feel like I'm saying that every single day as we start our show because we're this much closer. We were yesterday counting down to the beginning of the NFL season, and now we're counting down to the beginning of the Jaguars NFL season. We welcome you into Mocama Beer Company, and I'm fired up and ready to go. Nassau, you got to believe, is fired up and ready to go. Big Sirs, Maddie, JJ back in JJville. But if you are out and about in beautiful Fernandina Beach, you're anywhere along A1A up here, just come on by. We're on South 8th Street. It's the 50s old car dealership where they made this beautiful tap room, and you can see the brewery behind you, the barrels. They're filling them up full of hops and barley and everything else. And Big Sirs, everyone is dying to see what your Jacksonville Jaguars look like once we kick this bad boy off on Sunday.
So am I, bro. Listen, I'm excited to see what this new regime is going to bring to this organization. I mean, we need I don't know. We need some fuel after what we've had to deal with over the last couple of years. We need an injection.
Right.
You know, we need an injection, a B12 shot or something for this organization, the way that we played, especially last year. So I'm excited to see the new and refreshed and refined Jaguars go out there and play some football on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's it. I never know what to expect, even when you came off the playoffs in 22, going into 23, you kind of felt like this was all of a sudden a major turning of the corner for the franchise, for the quarterback, the generational one, all that kind of stuff. And then after the terrific start they had, we all know it's been hell in a handbasket since then. I don't know what to expect.
Bro, you know, every year that we have lofty expectations, we fall flat. I mean, I think it's the years that when they don't expect a lot from the Jaguars is when we do essentially shine. So, I mean, listen, I'm okay with that, you know, with the expectations being marginal. I hope the Jaguars supersede those expectations. No one's picking them to win the division, and no one thinks they're going to win more than 8 games. Listen, prove me wrong. I got them at 8 and 9. I got them at not winning the division. I got the Texans winning the division.
Okay.
So I want them to prove me wrong. Absolutely. But I know this team, over the years, when they've had lofty expectations, after coming off the playoffs, let's think about 2017. When they made it to the championship game, everybody had them favored the Super Bowl. They fell flat. Think about 2022 when they lost to the Chiefs and Trevor Lawrence is in the tunnel slapping hands like we're going to be back. And what happened after that year? Mm-hmm. You know?
It's
true. You had an 8-3 start, then you collapsed towards the end. Then that collapse had carryover into the next season where you finished 4-13.
Right, because if you go back in time, 1 win over 6 ball games that year, then what we had this past year, and everything really has gone south since. So you got the coaching change, you got free agents that have come in, a draft class that includes Travis Hunter. So everybody's got to be super, super, super fired up about it. But what is it going to look like, and how is it going to be? I told Jaguars today earlier, Big, that I went on the Mac Attack this morning. We'll hear from Chris McClain in about a half hour's time, and they think they should beat this team, and this team thinks they should beat that team. That's just how it's going to go because both teams stunk. El Stunko last year. This team gave up scores and scores of big plays and yards left and right, particularly in the passing game. And then on the other side of it, you definitely knew that football team was terrible defensively as well. Now, here's the other big piece of news. And you guys definitely chime in. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures if you want to give us an idea of what you think it will take to win or what you think the key to winning will be. 641-1010. Hit us with that. Ekwonu, their left tackle, apparently had to have an emergency appendectomy. Had an appendectomy this past week. Jeff Lageman was talking about it yesterday on Jaguars happy hour, and the first there was Liam Cohen show is actually when it was being brought up, and I didn't realize that it was an appendectomy because he had missed practice Wednesday and Thursday, and now Dave Canales, head coach of the Panthers, is basically saying, hey, he's going to have a good day today for him to have any chance. But can you imagine coming back from an appendectomy and getting back in the game, getting back in uniform and playing a 60-minute game?
No, bro, that's a tough task. Absolutely, that's going to be a tough task. Especially when you know you got a game on Sunday. You have an appendectomy, there's 2 days out? And
right.
You're supposed to start the game in 2 days? And he missed Wednesday and Thursday. Those are your essential practices. Your coaching and your staff knows essentially how well you're going to be able to play on Sundays based upon Wednesday and Thursday practice, because that's your install, that's your most intense practice, that's your attention to detail practice, that's your technique fundamentals. So if he missed those 2 days, I wouldn't be surprised he doesn't play on Sunday.
Yeah,
Which means which is unfortunate. I'm not chiming in but which means that the left tackle position should be exposed by either
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Hines Allen or Trayvon Walker or whoever's on that left side.
Right. Yeah.
And that's Bryce Young's blind side too.
So Josh Hines Allen should have himself a day if this goes the way we're talking about. That will be one of the keys to the game. They did not have their starting left tackle. Mm-hmm. And if he is not 100%, if he is out there, that still means that they need to take advantage of it and exploit it if they can. Because that's a guy who ain't at 100%, and Josh Hines Allen needs to get out of the gate at 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk a bunch about it today. You guys give us an idea of what you're thinking as far as the key to win. We appreciate it. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. I don't know if JJ has the Seinfeld clip queued up. Tell me if you do, JJ, because this is just unbelievable what we were treated to last night from Jaylen Carter. As a matter of fact, from Dak Prescott and Jaylen Carter, okay, because there were magic loogies flying around everywhere.
It was. Hey, listen, at first, when I saw it, what Jaylen Carter did initially, because I only saw the one view of him spitting on Dak Prescott, I was livid.
Yeah.
I say that's deplorable, that's despicable, whatever. But then when they showed the camera, and listen, I'm not condoning what he did.
Right.
But I've been in situations where I've looked across at the huddle, and a guy looks me eye to eye, and he spits on the ground. That's essentially saying, the hell with, especially when you're at home, you take it personally. Football players are very territorial.
Okay.
So if you look me in my eye across from the huddle and you spit, you're basically saying I'm spitting on your floor at your house. Okay? I'm just saying. So I'm not excusing what he did. Spitting on him, he should have carried it another way.
Yeah. Okay.
Should have pointed at him and said, okay, I got you. That's disrespect. By staying in the game and pounding on Dak Prescott, that's how you get back at him.
Yes.
It's not by spitting on him now.
Bro, it was classless.
It was very classless. Now you get ejected. Now you expose the middle of your defense with a backup. And the Cowboys had success running the ball in between the tackles.
Yeah, and the other thing is that you spit on Dak, you're spitting on your own team because you just got tossed. You cost, and we're talking about you, me, and Maddie. We're talking yesterday about this guy could be the next Chris Jones. He is blossoming into a superstar at the line of scrimmage. This is his premiere coming off of a Super Bowl.
He's immature.
He's totally immature. And the thing is Dak did it, and you guys let us know what side you're on this with the magic loogie. But Dak, like Leon described, he looked at the team. He had space between him, his lineman in front of him, and then the Eagles, and he did point down and spit. So that is disrespect, like you're saying.
It was very much disrespectful.
But you don't follow it by lobbing a loogie right at the man's face.
No, you stay in the game, and you point at Dak and say, okay, I see you. And then you go about your business of pounding them every chance you get in the game.
Right. So it's unacceptable. There's no way to get around it.
Exactly.
So we will definitely get into that. You guys let us know where you're at on Loogie Gate. As far as the Jacksonville Jaguars are concerned, we definitely want to hear what kind of score you're feeling on Sunday. If you're getting ready to tailgate and party, we're all into it. We want to hear from you. Mocama Beer Company, they are set up here in beautiful Fernandina, South 8th Street. This tap room is going to be rocking on Sunday, so make plans to be here. You can enjoy all their delicious craft that they've got, the tap room and the coffee ready and waiting for you. Drop on by. We'd love to see you. It is XL Primetime on a Florida Home AC Friday. Give us some rock and roll requests. JJ the DJ ready to just bang them out. 904-641-1010. Give them some requests.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford. Setting the field on fire with electrifying plays.
What a play! What a play!
But in the end, there's always a play that stood out.
Did you have to go Sports Center on me, though?
Listen for the performance painting high-performance play of the game on 1010XL.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Yo, it's your main man E to the T here. And have you been to Clay County lately? It's the perfect escape and just a short drive away. Hiking, paddling, fishing, and plenty more ways to enjoy the outdoors. This month, you can take on the Whistling Death 5 and 10K. Dig into bold flavors at the annual Soul Food Festival and enjoy fall festivals all across the county. Make the call this weekend and enjoy great times and make wonderful new memories, all in our area. Check out exploreclay.com to plan your weekend adventures. That's exploreclay.com.
Frank Frangie here to tell you about the coolest new thing, a putting green in my backyard that my friends at Sunshine Turf installed. Sunshine Turf can do the same for you. They'll come to your house, they'll create a custom design for your space, and you'll have an authentic golf course experience right in your own backyard. I freaking love it. Sunshine Turf is family owned and they made the process so simple. So visit sunshineturf.info or call them at 904-383-0243 and get a free quote today for your own putting green. Get it from Sunshine Turf.
The 30th Annual Reggie Hunt Memorial Golf Tournament fundraiser is Friday, October 24th at Amelia River Golf Club. All proceeds support Big Brothers Big Sisters. Register at the Big Brothers Big Sisters events page.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. They're professionally trained builders. Deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, superiorfenceandrail.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
Newman was in front of me. Hernandez was coming toward us. As he passes us, Newman turns and says, "Nice game, pretty boy." Hernandez continued past us up the ramp.
Then, a second later, something happened that changed us in a very deep and profound way from that day forward.
What was it? He spit on us. And I screamed out, "I'm hit!"
Then I turned and the spit ricocheted off him and it hit me.
We know what cool sounds like. XL Primetime. But what does it feel like? Find out at FloridaHomeAC.com. 1010XL.
Yeah, you definitely can go back to last night and see that magic loogie scene unfolding. And us as diehard Seinfeld fans, we had to bring that to the program. XL Primetime Mocama Beer Company. This is where we are for the next couple of hours. We'd love to see you. The Brewmasters are in the back. They definitely know what they're doing. And you can come taste this wonderful brew. They just unveiled one of their beautiful kind of an Oktoberfest themed beer that we'll be telling you about, that I will be sampling. You know that. That's for sure as we go along today. But we would love for you to drop on by, enjoy some of their terrific food and some of that great craft. And it looks like there's already a cold pint that's been poured over there. Am I right, Big Sirs?
Yeah, Miss Brenda.
Yeah.
She's starting the birthday early.
She's got a cold one.
Uh-huh.
She says, you know what? Whenever we get going, we start our weekend way early. Everybody knows that. So you can start your Friday way early if you want to drop on by and get into it with us today at Mocama Beer Company.
Speaking of the spitting, by the
Magic Loogie.
Isn't there a code like among NFL players? Like, if the official comes up and sees one, like, doesn't Dak say, "Look, I spit on the ground. It's no big deal," or "Not no big deal. I kind of initiate."
No, he would never do that.
Yeah,
you would never do that. The whole intention is
to get him kicked out.
You know what? I don't know if it was. I think Dak.
So there's no code between you guys.
No. I think Dak singled him out, knew he was a loose cannon. I'm gonna look at him in his eye. I'm gonna spit on the ground, and I'm gonna laugh. And he took it personally. Which you should.
Wouldn't anybody take
a player is.
There's no code there.
They're very territorial. Territorial. All right. That's happened to me a lot of times. Where I've been at home, I look at the defensive lineman. He looks me in my eye. He spits on the ground. That's like I'm spitting on your floor. That's the way we take it. All right. But you can't spit on another man. Can't spit on another man. I read you slap me.
Yeah. It's the dirtiest, most heinous,
I read
most
you slap me, then spit on me, bro.
Yeah.
Right, but when we were playing football when we were young, the spitting happened all the time.
Yeah,
You're telling me you spit on people?
It happened all the time is what I'm saying.
I never.
No.
I never
stuff underneath the piles.
I played 4 years of championship 1A football. Never spit on anybody.
I've been spit on twice.
How many times have you had things grabbed that shouldn't have been grabbed?
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah, and you listen.
Never had the boys grab you.
Talk.
Yeah,
never.
First
of
all,
I wore a cup.
We threw punches
first. Okay, let me just put that out there.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm saying I was even spit on twice. The Cotton Bowl, I was spit at
by a Texas player. Really?
Texas player, spit on the Cotton Bowl. Can't remember his name. But
What'd you say? What'd you say when he did?
Look at that. You're being served. That's perfect. Mocama does it that way.
So I started swinging. Then he had to say nothing.
You start swinging immediately?
I started swinging on him. And then Romanowski spit on me when he was an Eagle.
And what
you got him back?
Well, I had to.
Yeah.
He earned that one.
And you didn't spit back, though.
No.
You got him back.
I did.
Yeah. What will Romanowski always be known for? Dirty player and a dude who throws loogies.
Yes.
And so it's the most chump, classless thing to do.
It is.
And it's, anyway, pissed me off. And then it's so funny. TLD, lovely Diane, all of a sudden she goes over to the Cowboys side of this. She's rooting for Dallas all the way. Come on, Dak, and this and that. She was so disgusted by it. And look, we saw a good football game too.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, the weather got to them in the third quarter, and we didn't get to see the end of it for a while. But here's the other thing that got me, separate from what happened with the Magic Loogie. Two offenses. Now, Jaylen Carter had a hell of a lot to do with this because, like you said earlier, sirs, Brian Schottenheimer is known for running the ball. You take Jaylen Carter out of the middle, you damn sure are going to run the ball. And so what did they do? They did it to success. They get in the end zone. There were 7 straight scoring drives in the first half of that game. That means every single time the team got the football, they ended up with points. Did you see a punter in the first half?
No.
No, the answer is no.
No.
Neither one of them punted in the first half. 7 straight scoring drives. And you know what else? And this is kind of to tie it back to Jacksonville. Philadelphia is so damn good. They can do it so many ways. They kept featuring Saquon. They did not target A.J. Brown until after the lightning delay. They never targeted him. He had 0 targets, 0 catches, and they still were able to control that ball game.
They also figured out no Jaylen after the first half, too.
Yeah.
It took them a half, but they figured it out.
But he is, listen, the way he operates, and I don't know whether he's a lineman's that you would love this guy, Leon, or if he's a guy that you don't know exactly where to drive your defender. But that dude can improvise and has the quietest heartbeat I've ever seen in a game of football. He doesn't panic.
No, he does. Jalen Hurts? No, he doesn't panic. But he's two-dimensional. I mean, if he's not as dynamic throwing the ball, he's got legs.
Yeah.
he can scramble and make plays, get first downs, or he can score touchdowns. So, I mean, you got to pick your poison with him. What do you do with him? Do you leave a spy with him? Because you know if he doesn't see anything there, he's going. If his check down's not there, he's going to run. So you might need to leave a spy there because he can affect the game passing and running the ball as well.
See, I think that game is a perfect example of what I want to see with this franchise moving forward this season. Is both instances on offense and defense, when the Eagles faced adversity, they figured it out.
Yeah.
The first time with Jaylen Carter, they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop in the first half. They figured it out, completely shut them down in the second half. The other was Jalen Hurts. They're dropping 5 and 6, sometimes 7 into coverage. Mm-hmm. What did he do? He figured it out.
Yeah.
Used his legs, scored 2 touchdowns.
And that's why Saquon also was involved in the passing game, because of what you're saying. What they did was they said, we're going to – the reason I was bringing it up is because we go nuts when this team didn't target Brian Thomas Jr. Well, the other half of that was bad, correct? Not targeting was bad. You know what the other half of that was? There was nothing else. Okay, in the case of Philly, you don't target A.J. Brown. There's options everywhere else. Hey, go to Devonta, Dallas Goedert. Go to your running back. Go to you, number one. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what Philadelphia can do. They don't quit when one thing is taken away. And so it was just unreal.
Right, they move forward.
Yeah, and look, we're used to it. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. Mm-hmm. They're going to be a tough out once again. But I did come away a little more impressed with Dallas.
Yeah, I did. I did too. I think we underestimated them because when they lost Micah Parsons, they said, why'd you trade a generational guy like that? But the Cowboys did some nice things on offense and some nice things on defense. I think they protected well.
Right. Dak
didn't get sacked. I think they protected. I think offensive line did a great job protecting. Now, don't get me wrong. When you lose Jaylen Carter and Nakobe Dean wasn't playing in the game. So, I mean, but they're still paid professionals, and you did your job. They ran the ball effectively. Dak threw the ball on time, with rhythm. But if you CD Lamb, bro, in the second half, we just paid you a boatload of money last year. You can't drop those kind of passes.
Well,
3 legit drops in the second half that cost them yardage that could have gave them opportunity to win the game. You can't do that, bro.
The first one was the one that he needed to catch.
Yes.
Right.
The other one a little tougher.
Yeah.
The other one a lot tougher. The first one is you have to make the catch.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not even you need to. You have to make that catch.
Even the one down the sideline where he had to stretch
difficult,
out.
but could have been done.
It could have been done.
Yes.
By the way,
I've seen that catch being caught
many times.
Many times.
And so, and by the way, CD was operating in the first half of this game. Okay, he was doing work, and so you need to get to a point where the count on moments, you got to be there. And Dak came out looking dang good. Mm-hmm. He really did.
Yeah, but
first half.
First half.
But I mean, the Eagles adjusted, and that's what you talk about coaching all along.
Yeah.
And your hope this season is that the coaching will be a difference for this franchise. And I think in the last, I don't know how many years, since I came back to Jacksonville, other than that 7-game stretch, that's been the problem. Mm-hmm. When adversity hit, there's no answers. Mm-hmm. There are no answers. So the hope now is that you have answers, that you can give these guys on the field an answer to what's going on. They can adjust and deal with adversity and not go into a fetal position every time something bad happens.
Yeah,
exactly. Listen, my history of playing football is that in the first half, you got a lot of energy. You're spending a lot of energy. Then in the second half, you've got to elevate that energy, not only mentally but physically, because now it's the long haul. The third and the fourth quarters of where games are essentially won. And so many times I've watched this Jaguar team just in the second half, you think they're going to make adjustments. They're going to come out with a little bit more fire, a little more intensity, more effort, and you get the same you get the same dull moments.
Yeah.
You know, so what I'm hoping is that with this new coaching staff, that they light a fire on them in the second half after they make adjustments.
Yeah, you demand excellence and accountability.
Yes.
And I think, and you may not get excellence all the time, but if you demand both of them, the accountability part will slowly give you some excellence because you got to be accountable for everything you do.
Well, just like Matt said, in the second half with the Eagles, they made adjustments. They figured them out.
Yeah.
They figured out Dak. They figured out the running game.
That's coaching.
That's coaching.
They started slanting more on the defensive line. They were putting 7 and 8 in the box, saying, all right, you got to run. Now you got to throw the ball. Throw the ball.
Let's also not forget, though, that Miles Sanders busts off a big run. Had he not coughed it up, they'd have been in the end zone. Things would have changed that game.
Yeah, I agree with
that was a 100% back-breaking fumble, a turnover.
But stuff like that,
those are the ones that
happens.
You.
Right. But things like that happen in the league. Like, you've got to learn to figure out and get beyond it.
Right. But it's already hard enough to beat that team.
I agree.
Yeah, but you got to have those conversations on the sideline. When he fumbled that ball, the defense should say, all right, bro, we got you.
Right, we're good.
We're good. We're going to get it back, whatever. You go back and do it again.
Yeah.
You got to have those kind of conversations.
After the Etienne fumble in week 1 against the Dolphins, they still had the lead even after the next touchdown the Dolphins scored.
Yeah. And then it was a couple of Tyreek streaks through the defense, and the rest is history. All right, so you guys jump in, 641-1010. We will tie it back to your Jacksonville Jaguars as we get a little more into this game plan. What is it going to take? And you can obviously keep chiming in on what happened last night. Commissioner Duval says Dak successfully got in Jaylen's head. We're not seeing that. No, we are. We are. He did it exactly like Leon described. It's just and he pulled him into that trap. We're just saying that Jaylen's still the Dumas in this, okay? That guy had a chance to shine with that Super Bowl trophy already in his hands. And he got suckered in, and he blew it. That's for sure. All right, who's going to be the star on both sides of the ball on Sunday? You guys can throw a suggestion our way, 641-1010. Hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. As we said, Mocama Beer Company, they're going to be here ready for you whenever it comes to game day. They would love you to drop on by and listen to this. This is called the Wise Zen. I love the name of it. It's a Hefeweizen. And Maddie, we know that you and I are fans of the German wheat. Big Sirs, he likes to sample all the different beers. The flavor profile that Sirs works with when it comes to cold pints, he can go anywhere. But the Wise Zen's a Hefeweizen, and they just released it last Friday. So you can get it in 6-packs. You can get it here at the tap room, along with all their other ones. So make sure you drop on by. You may get the tortilla chip sidekick.
I was just going to say, that
to
looks
go along with
really
that.
good.
Little mango, salsa, sour. They're releasing that as well. So it's not just cold brew. It's all their other flavors that they're putting out here at Mocama with their menu, their kitchen, everything else. So drop on by. We would love to see you. Mocama Beer Company, South 8th Street here in beautiful Fernandina. Let's say hello to the Mac Attack up in Charlotte. Former Jacksonville sports radio guy. Now he's been up on FNZ for a long, long time. So we will hear from him coming up on XLP.
XL Primetime, driven by Big #1 Duval Ford, elite service for elite companies.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% and homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There's a new game changer in downtown Jacksonville, and it's not the two-way star you might be thinking of. It's Pour Tap Room Jacksonville at Laura and Forsyth. 2 floors, 80 self-pour taps of craft beer, wine and cocktails, and a full liquor bar. Pour Tap Room has all your game day favorites. Wings, burgers, and more. You can even grab a slice or a pie next door at Pizza Dynamo, and they'll bring it right to your table. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville, a beer festival every day.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesofJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page, the showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Well, we know what it's like here, okay? The football suffering that's been going on all over the First Coast. There's no question about it. Mocama Beer Company, as much as you enjoy a cold pint, sometimes you do it just to kind of commiserate with others because you're dealing with L's everywhere. Well, the same is true up in Charlotte. I said hello to Chris McLean, he of the Mac Attack, up in Charlotte on FNZ earlier today, and we brought up good times when both of us were storming Jack's Beach and all the other locales when he was running the streets here. Chris McLean joins us now. Mac Attack, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? So I'm here. My misery is needed, apparently.
Listen, a couple of cats that just need a cold one to get over another loss. And like you and I were talking about earlier today, everybody thinks they can fix it by beating up on that other cat team. Either Panther fans think they can beat Jacksonville fans think they can beat Carolina. The biggest news for me, Mac, and let's at least start there, is Ekwonu not practicing. Is he going to play? That was a crazy story with an appendectomy.
Yeah, I was just looking into that today because he was out there today. Today was the day that he was going to try to give it a go and do some stuff and see if it was possible. So that's one where literally I think in the next hour or two there'll probably be a word on that one. My sense has been that he won't go because, I mean, he has not really done anything except a little conditioning on the side. And that would probably lead to Yosh Nijman playing. And this is a guy who, honestly, I'm surprised he's back this year. Last year was his first year here as a kind of they brought him in as a swing tackle from Green Bay, and he had some success there in that role. But last year was a real disappointing year for him. So that one, that's got Panther fans uneasy if he can't go.
Yeah.
So Mac, we've been talking about this all off season, and I wanted to get your distinct thoughts on it. We've been saying all along, everybody in Carolina, they see this game as a dub. It's an early dub. You get one on the road, you pull one out, everything's good, you move forward. So this is not like everyone here is thinking, oh yeah, this is dub, it's Panthers, we're good, 1-0, let's move forward. This is that's the way the Panthers are thinking, is it not?
Yeah, I will say this: the injury to Ekwonu at left tackle, and then the Thielen trade, and then Jalen Coker getting hurt. That was, and I don't think they would have traded Thielen if Coker got hurt before that deal was done. They basically did Thielen a solid because he wanted to go back home to Minnesota, and they're at a point where, hey, we trust these young receivers. Well, I think one of the guys they trusted the most was Coker, and now he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. So I think until this last week or so, Matt, I think we were feeling like, oh, yeah, we go down there to the perfect opponent to start with and all that stuff. I think we've gotten a little, less confident because of those issues on the offensive side of the ball. But there's no doubt, man, that you look at this game, and the Panthers' their first 7 games are against teams that didn't make the playoffs last year. So, I mean, we're looking at those first 7 games and saying there's opportunity there. But I think we're also conceding, there's no game that we can't win in the first 7 here. but there's no game that's like guaranteed, and I guess y'all know what that's like, right? It's like that should be a winnable game, but we're the Panthers, you know.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, absolutely. We know what that feels like, Chris. So when your left tackle is down, that's telling me right then and there that y'all going to probably try to establish the run game, and this Jaguars team has had problems over the years stopping the run. So you would think that if they got issues with the offensive line, they would try to control the clock by running it. I mean, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be the plan. I mean, listen, they've got Chuba Hubbard, who had 1,000 yards last year. They went out and brought in Rico Dowdle, who was a 1,000-yard back in Dallas. So, I mean, their intentions, Leon, on a healthy week is they want to run the football, and then they want Bryce to be able to throw the play action off of that. But, yes, you're right. There's no doubt they want to make things easy, run the ball, get into situations where it's not second and long and third and long, and those two edges y'all got can pin their ears back. I mean, that's what they're trying to avoid. And I do think they should be a pretty good running team. I mean, last year they were 16th in overall rushing, but I think that was because they were getting their ass beat a lot. They couldn't run the football. They had to give up on it. They were 10th in yards per carry. I think their run game should be better with now Dowdle in there to spell Chuba Hubbard a little bit. I think that's got to be the plan, and I think that's definitely something we're looking at. I think we're hoping that the Jags have not improved. I know they went out and got some secondary players. I'm hoping they're not improved up front, defensively.
Listen, that is the essence of what needs to happen here is that they got beat up on both lines of scrimmage. We're talking Chris McClain, the Mac Attack, WFNZ up in Charlotte, as you can definitely hear and enjoy him at Bone Mornings up there in the Queen City. So here's the other thing, bro, is that when you think these two head coaches, I never thought I would say this, Mac, two guys got head coaching jobs off of Baker Mayfield's back. Did you ever think you would say that? And Baker with Canales was good. Canales gets the job. Then Liam gives Baker his career, and he gets a job of it. I'm really interested to see how these two cats, Canales and Cohen, operate on each sideline.
I'll tell you this: it's the way they worked with Baker. If they don't get Bryce and Trevor going, it's going to be a bumper. It's going to be a bumper for either one of us if that doesn't happen. It is fascinating. We were actually talking, Joe, after we hung up on you. We were talking about how much we want to whip to Jacksonville's ass. But after we got done with that, we were talking about how similar the two teams are, and that is one of the respects that they're similar. Is that you've got former number one overall pick quarterbacks. And the head coaches have been hired basically to, get more out of them. I think Cohen actually, Canales did a great job with Baker. He was seen as the one that kind of resurrected him to start. But I don't think you can deny Cohen took him to another level. I mean, last year, Baker's numbers, 41 touchdowns, were ridiculous. They averaged 37 points a game in the two games against the Panthers. So you don't need to sell me on Liam Cohen's offense. Mm-hmm. But it is fascinating, and that's one of the subplots is you have these two quarterbacks that are former number one overall picks. They're under pressure, and they got these quarterback whisperers that both came from Tampa. So it's going to be a fascinating storyline.
Mac, explain the Panthers' defense. The front three, very good if Ashawn Robinson is healthy and good to go. The back eight, what's there? How can they force this Jaguars team into being uncomfortable on offense?
The front three is good now because Derek Brown is back. He got hurt in week 1 last year, and that was killer. And they have added Bobby Brown from the Rams. They've added Turk Wharton from the Chiefs. So last year, that front three was Ashawn by himself, man. I felt for that guy. This year, he's got help with Derek Brown back and the guys they've added. The linebacker, the edges are, Wanham and Jones are the starting edges. They're solid, but not really special. They're hoping that the two SEC rookies that they drafted, Nick Scorton from A&M and Princely Uman-Mielen, former Gator, who then transferred to Ole Miss, they're hoping those two guys end up being special. But, the good thing for y'all is I'd be shocked if they're special right away from the jump. The secondary, J.C. Horn's the star. Trayvon Merrick they brought in should be a damn good safety, but that second safety spot is iffy. The nickelback and Shaw Smith-Wade had a good camp, but he's a second-year, kind of day 3 draft pick. And the middle linebackers, too. Like, Trevin Wallace is a guy they used a day 2 pick on. He's in his second year, but he's young and unproven. Christian Roseboom is solid, not spectacular. I mean, honestly, if you were to tell me this defense finishes like 20th or 21st in total defense, I would take your offer right now after the year they had last year. I think they should be better, but it still is the biggest problem on this team, no doubt.
Wow. Now, Chris, what's the noticeable change of Bryce Young from last year when he was benched and how he played towards the end of the year?
Yeah, it was crazy, and that is the one thing you guys talk about. The confidence we might have in this matchup. If Bryce Young did not become this improved version of himself, I'm not sure we'd be confident against anybody. But Bryce is the thing that gives us that confidence. It was crazy, Leon, because he had a brutal rookie year, but everything around him was a mess. But then he comes back for that second year, and his first 2 games last year before he was benched were worse than the rookie year. So I'm wondering if we're ever going to see him again. We thought Canales was brought in to like we talked about, to be the QB whisperer for him, and I thought he was just giving up on Bryce. Andy Dalton gets into a little minor car wreck, but enough to have him with an injury from it where he can't play. And I'll be damned if Bryce didn't come back was a different guy. Like the Bryce you saw in Alabama, where he's under pressure and is like thriving, by dancing away from guys and improvising and finding guys downfield. Like he never did that, but the post-benching Bryce started doing that stuff. He was so much cooler and calm. The confidence. He looked like he had no confidence at the start of the year last year. I mean, he was checking everything down, wouldn't even look downfield, was looking at the rush. You know what I mean? How horrible that sign is. And all of a sudden, he's poised in the pocket, unaffected by pressure. And then he started doing some, it's a minor thing, but he started doing some dances and celebrations. And it's like, he's enjoying football again. So I don't know how the heck it happened. I don't know what Canales did during that downtime. I don't know if he just needed a breath or just needed to learn the offense because it was new last year some more. But, yeah, he was a totally different person. If he doesn't come out and play like he did down the stretch, he had 10 touchdowns total and 0 interceptions in the last 3 games. If he doesn't pick up where he left off, we're definitely going to be disappointed because he ended on a high note last year.
All right, Mac Attack, we got to turn you loose, but you got to settle one thing. When we were rivals, back in the day, we stared each other down the street, just like Ron Burgundy. We never once lobbed a magic loogie the other guy's way. You could say that officially, right? We fought with class.
I was tempted to. There's no doubt about it.
I believe it.
And on your side, if anybody was going to do it, I thought Lammy may do something like that.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie. In the press box, I was a little afraid.
He wouldn't just lob a loogie at you. He'd lob one of those wet cigars that he chewed off at you. All right, bro. We appreciate it. Always good catching up, and may the best feline win on Sunday.
One of us is going to be right that this game was going to be a win. One of us will be. All right, enjoy it, guys. Thanks.
All right, man. Take care of the Mac Attack. Chris McLean up there.
I was on the other team back then, too.
Yeah, exactly. We're all rivals everywhere.
Right.
Exactly. All right, we'll keep it rolling. Mocama Beer Company. Don't forget, they got the Wise In. They just released it this past week. They got it in 6-packs. They got it here at the tap room. Come on by and sample any of that great craft here. Mocama Beer Company, South 8th Street. Big party plans on Sunday. You can do it right here with your Jaguars.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford. New coaches.
The future. That's truly what's exciting.
New players.
I bring the juice every day.
New season.
We've done some great things this offseason.
This is where the dream begins. And Duval is downright ready.
Time to go.
Now, it's for real. Jaguars, Panthers. Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal conditions.
We're a veteran and still 100% locally owned and operated HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, and general contracting company. Ideal Conditions has been BBB accredited with an A+ rating since 2008 with 4.9 out of 5 stars from over 1,000 reviews on Google.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
IdealConditionsJax.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 5th, 1995, Cal Ripken Jr. ties Lou Gehrig's record of playing in 2,130 straight games.
Jacksonville, get ready to spice up your night at One Night Taco Stand every Taco Tuesday. Enjoy their mouth-watering tacos for just $3.49 and all day, every day, 2-for-1 house margaritas and 2-for-1 daiquiris. Find fresh Mexican street food, stiff drinks, and fun vibes at One Night Taco Stand with 3 Jacksonville locations in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Millard Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Millard Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Millard Electric Company. Apply today at millardcareers.com. Millard Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Rick Ballou here with the congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Denny Thompson here. Look, don't get left in the dark. We're all trying to reason with hurricane season, so at least be prepared. For top-of-the-line generators in Jacksonville, I turn to Tyson. Licensed pros at Tyson deliver reliable, whole-home standby generators and provide fast repair service. They even do custom installations for local businesses, so don't wait. Ensure seamless installation and peace of mind. Call Tyson now, 904-762-1000 for a free estimate on generator services. TysonInc.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Mocama Beer Company ready to host you for any of your sporting events. They got the beautiful patio area out back. They got cool things that are coming up a little bit later on during the month of September we'll be telling you about, but you can come on by while we are here. Joe C., Matty Hayes, check out his stuff at USA Today Sports. Big Search, the Hurricane Hall of Famer, fresh off that 1-0 Miami Hurricane start. And we'll work in some college football right now. We've been talking a bunch about your Jacksonville Jaguars. We definitely want to keep it going. Panthers v. Jaguars, cat-on-cat crime, you know. The spotted ones need to come out on top, okay? There's no question about it. How's it going to happen? You guys let us know, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. But we do have a couple of big ball games. We got Coach Campo coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to get back into the Jags, but a little college football right now. The Michigan-Oklahoma game is the marquee game. It's where College Game Day is set up, Matt. It's where most people are wondering, is Oklahoma legit? Is John Mateer legit? He actually jetted to the top of the Heisman odds after that game last week, even though it wasn't against a top-flight opponent. He looked pretty damn good. And then you got Michigan with Bryce Underwood. Even though they were on the ropes a little bit against who they played, he didn't look too bad. So this is good. One's a freshman, an emerging star, and the other guy is saying, hey, I've done my work at Washington State. Now I'm coming in the SEC and seeing what my game looks like.
So I look at this game a couple different ways. Number one is Bryce Underwood's first road start. Mm-hmm. And number two, he's going against a guy that's one of the top 3 defensive minds in the game, and Brent Venables. And Brent's going to have some different things he hasn't seen yet.
Right.
And that environment's going to be crazy. It's going to be loud. That's going to impact them. And number two, Michigan doesn't have Grant and Graham anymore.
Right.
So the problem
those
defensively,
are two big interior defensive linemen,
huge guys for that team the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're talking about legit dudes that were difference makers on the interior line for them. They don't have that anymore. And I think that's going to be an issue. I love what Wink Martindale did last year. I'm sure he'll do similar things this year for them defensively. But when you lose 2 legit dudes on your defensive line like that, that's difficult to replace. And I think that's where you're going to see Oklahoma be able to attack that defense because they'll be able to protect Mateer more than they would had those two guys still there. I don't see those guys. They lost Josiah Stewart, their best edge rusher, too. So I don't see them getting the pressure on Mateer like they could have last year, and I think that's going to be a difference.
Big.
Well, yeah. Well, Grant and Graham, they are furniture movers. I love those guys. I remember we were watching the game, and I was like, listen, we could plug and play them right now today with the Jaguars where they struggle. But if I'm Michigan and you're going into a hostile environment, knowing that you got a freshman quarterback, don't you do what Michigan always does? Run the ball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they will.
Run the ball, control the clock. Let Bryce Underwood get his passes through play action. But Michigan, as far as I know, they've always had a solid offensive line. They always had the capabilities of running the football. So that's what I would do. That would be my strategy. The more possessions you can take away from this Mateer guy is by running the ball and keeping the clock and moving the chains. No?
Yeah, I would agree with that. No. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to stack 7, 8 guys up there, 9 guys in the box. They're going to force Underwood to make a throw. And so
this is where Brent Venables is going to prove.
That's where, that's where
he can turn things around.
That's where he's going to earn his money, this year. Like if he's taken over the defense now, and this is his time now to show, okay, this is why it's important for me to be here because this is what I can do in games like this against elite non-conference teams. In a situation where I can affect the quarterback because he's a young guy, he's never been on the road, he's never been in this situation, he hasn't played a team of this caliber yet, because obviously they played New Mexico to begin the season. Certainly he's practiced against the Michigan defense all season, but it's all off season. But it's different when you get into a game and you get in this environment. So this is where Brent Venables has to make his bones right here in this game.
All right, we will find out. You guys jump in on the college football front. We had so many great games this last week, so many good ones. Not necessarily a stacked slate this week, but we definitely will hit on a few of them. You guys let us know. 641-1010. Text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We would love for you to get in on a little CFB or some Jag v. Panthers talk. I think we're going to dial Coach Campo's phone at the top of the hour. Okay, we got Ryan O'Halloran a little bit later on. We're going to try and get Coach in, talk a little bit more about this matchup, some of the things that he saw. We did our Campo and Joe podcast. He definitely has a game plan for Travis Hunter, so hopefully we'll be able to get in all that with him. But Mocama Beer Company, they invite you to drop on by any day. We'd love to see you today. They got a really just a beautiful tap room, coffee area. They can take care of you. All the delicious new brews, including the Weizen. That's the Hefeweizen they just released last week. It's on tap, and you can look for 6-packs, and you can find them Publix, ABC, Total. They will definitely hook you up with a great craft beer. And then at the end of September, they got their Oktoberfest celebration, polka music, that you want to get in on exclusive day of beer releases as well. Check it all out here at Mocama Beer Company. Let's see if we can fire up a phone call to our head coach, Dave Campo, coming up in just a bit.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford. 1010XL's Hayes Carline represents you in the locker room.
So you gotta up your game.
Interview persons of interest so you'll have the information you need to get ready for game day.
Time to put on your game face.
Opened by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
I'm Hammer and Hayes Carline, and I've been known to drop an opinion like a 2-ton hammer. Weekdays on The Frangie Show.
Hammer Time with Hayes on 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Football season is all about hanging at home and watching the big ball games. Well, if your AC and heating unit is letting you down and keeping those electric bills sky high, think about getting a new energy-efficient AC unit from Florida Home AC. They've got great deals on replacements plus rebates and incentives to make it more affordable. Call Florida Home AC at 777-4300 and get their expert staff to take a look. Football season is all about fun and playing for the win. Make sure you have the winning team on your side with Florida Home AC.
This is Dylan Denmark with 1010XL, and Kuhn Flowers will do your holiday tree decorating, including all of your lights. Wow! So call on Kuhn Flowers today. They'll do it all this fall.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. The JTA Game Day Express is back. Save gas and avoid parking hassles as the Jaguars take on the Panthers this Sunday. Let them do the driving with multiple locations around town and passes starting at just $10 on the MyJTA app. To learn more, visit jtafla.com. 89 degrees at 101. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Well, normally, Coach Campo, as you all will begin to understand when we say hello to him, normally he just strolls in and takes over the show, but now we had to play Checkmate Coatings hotline for Coach because he's in Dallas. He's all the way over in D-Town. Coach, welcome in. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm doing great, guys. Great to be with you guys. I'm doing really good, with the exception that I was here for 4 days and some crazy Texan slammed into the back of my car.
Oh, no.
God. I'm all right. The car's not in real good shape, but other than that, we're ready to roll here.
That might be a sign.
Yeah.
Right, it might be a sign to come back.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't like the energy around here. Yeah, I get it. Well, hopefully you did get settled in. We were able to do our Campo and Joe podcast, minus the trophy room. But, Coach, we'll have that unpacked soon. So, listen, man, we are looking forward to your analysis, so let's hit the ground running for the fans who expect it from you out there, Coach. Carolina v. Jacksonville. Biggest way to win this football game. What jumps out at you first?
Well, first of all, I think they're very similar teams, from the standpoint of what they did last year. Now, I think the key is going to be how much we've improved and they've improved in certain areas. They have been horrible on defense. We've struggled on defense. So to me, the biggest key to the whole thing in this whole ball game is going to be how much our defense has improved and whether or not we can stop the running game. And to me, that's a huge factor. And I'll tell you, to be honest with you, not knowing what how Mason Smith and Armstead are going to be, when you look at the depth of our D-line, that might be one of the strengths before it's all over, because I think we've got a bunch of guys that can play. It's just a matter of putting it all together. So I think that's number one. We've got to go in with the idea we're going to stop the run and make the quarterback execute. The other key to me, obviously, is Trevor Lawrence has got to perform, and Travis Hunter is going to be a big part of that, in my opinion. I think they're much better offensively when Travis is in there. So I think you're going to get a pretty good dose of him on offense. And if they can, they've got some firepower. If we can protect up front, that's going to be a big key.
Now, Coach, I want to segue off that. You were talking about Trevor Lawrence. What would you rather see? Would you rather see us win the game because of Trevor or win the game in spite of Trevor? As far as defense, running the ball, what would you like to see?
Well, first of all, I think in spite of, I don't think is what we're looking at. I think what we're looking at is he doesn't have to win hopefully he does not have to win the game himself. That the guys around him, that front, is going to have to the thing that excited me about the front in preseason was the fact that they opened up the game with a power play. You know that, Leon, that gap blocking and just, accelerating out of the backfield is the way to go running it. And I think that in itself makes Trevor much more dangerous with the passing game off of the play action pass. And, I think he's operating with a little bit more eyes down the field. I think that combination is going to make it to where this is going to be a team effort, in my opinion. And as far as Trevor's concerned, his key is going to be when the chips are down, that's when he's got to win the game himself. And that's hopefully what we'll see.
Dave, as a wildly successful former NFL coach, I want to ask you, what do you do as a head coach when a team clearly has had problems in the past of responding to adversity? How do you change that?
I think it's just the way you operate as a coaching staff. I think that has to be something that is ingrained from the first day you walk into the building. And I think a lot of that comes from the energy of the football team based on what they've done in the offseason. Here's my feeling. We always had a saying, the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And so I think that just the combination of what's going on in the offseason, I feel like this coaching staff is the right one as far as, approaching the game the right way, the physicality and all that. To me, the fourth quarter is about conditioning and how well you work. And that's what happens when you overcome adversity is, how you play for the total game, not just the first half.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to look at it. It's a great saying, too, Coach. When we think about this game and what they can, like, in other words, the net result that can come out of this, if they win, is, I would think, a huge boost in confidence from really top to bottom, that they may be able to ride that wave a little bit. That's why I think it's so important to win this game, Coach, and then they can play or live off of it and practice off of it.
Well, that's the name of the game. I think we discussed on our podcast, all through, and listen, Liam Cohen is not any different than any other head coach, including when I was a head coach. When you go through the off season, the OTAs and training camp, when somebody says, well, you lost a preseason game 20-7, okay? The stock answer is, guys, it's about the process. Are we getting better in this area? Are we getting better in this area? Is this guy improving? It's the process, and the process. Well, when it comes to this first ball game, guys, the process already has to be there. You got to win. And to me, win is what brings the confidence that you're looking for. To me, that is critical in this game, especially with a team like, it's not as important for a team that's been 12-4 the year before. It is extremely important when you're 4 and whatever, So I agree with you 100%. I think this is a big ball game, even though what you do in September doesn't make you, and it doesn't break you. But this is important, this first ball game with this team.
Now, Coach, as a former defensive coordinator, and the left tackle for the opposing team is down, you've got to have a big game from Allen and Trayvon Walker, do you not?
Absolutely. I think that's going to be one of the keys to the football game, obviously, is if we can, with the guys that we've got inside, with Jesse Armstead, for example, is going to be able to get his Armstead.
Eric,
be able to get it. Yeah.
I wish he was playing like Jesse Armstead. I can tell you that.
I got my guy that I recruited to Miami in my mind. Armstead's got a chance to get his hands up and some push and all that, which makes it more difficult for the quarterback. And then the outside guys have got to perform off of a backup tackle. And there's no question. I think we've got the guys that do it. It's just, do they do it? And I think that's important, Leon.
All right, so let's get to a couple of key pieces with you coming up here in the next seg. We got Coach Campo on Fridays, the Campo and Joe podcast. We did it yesterday. You guys can go find that anywhere on the social channels. Love for you to watch that because I think Coach really brings up one really good point that I want you to expand on, how to play Travis Hunter based on situations. And I thought you came up with a really good idea and game plan for him. I want you to do that coming up here in just a second. JJ, another 4-pack. You know what our GM does, Steve? He goes and he bangs on the Jaguars' door, and he says, we need to give Duval more opportunity to go see this game, and you got tickets.
He's Santa Claus right now.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
Yeah, 4-pack of tickets, so be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford Mobile Service. Game-ready service right to your driveway. He's our Big Mac.
It's Smash Mouth football, baby!
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of shaving and waxing? At Hello Smooth Med Spa, laser hair removal permanently reduces hair growth for smooth, stubble-free skin. It's life-changing. With over 400 5-star reviews, they're Jacksonville's trusted choice. Learn more at hellosmooth.com.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at everbank.com/London.
You already know it's your main man, E to the T, here for Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft. And with ball season here, make sure you're on the lookout for my instant reaction before, during, or after the game. All brought to you by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree drafts. Come on, somebody.
Attention, ladies. The Ladies Florida State Championship is returning to Best Bet Jacksonville from September 18th to the 21st. Highlights include a World Poker Tour mega satellite, a free Q&A session with the Poker Hall of Famer and First Lady of Poker, Linda Johnson, and Women's Poker Hall of Famer Jan Fisher. It includes the $300 No Limit Hold'em Ladies Championship Tournament and the $200 Kings and Queens No Limit Hold'em event. Don't miss this action-packed weekend. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Football is a game of inches, and at Front Runners Tap House, every inch counts. Catch every big play on their massive 396-inch giant television. The ultimate game day experience is waiting for you at Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo.
Jacksonville is game time, and just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long, we've got the winning playbook. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Fences come in all shapes and sizes. It's not just as simple as build me a fence. That's where Duval Fence steps in. They've got it all, from vinyl and aluminum to chain link and quality wood fencing. Duval Fence has been part of Jacksonville since the 70s, and their work stands up to the test of time. Companies come and go, but serving the community as a valued business partner means something to Duval Fence. Residential, commercial, large industrial projects. Check out DuvalFence.com for the local original fence company.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Rockin' and rollin', Mocama Beer Company. That is where we are hanging out. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Sirs. Enjoy any opportunity to come on up to the Dina, Fernandina. They are always welcome in Nassau County. Definitely getting after it. And as we said, First Coast all rooting on your Jacksonville Jaguars to see if they can get in the win column to start things off. But make plans to be here. They got the big setup in the back patio area. You can enjoy the outside sunshine and watch ball. And, of course, they've got music music Thursday through Sunday, all happening here at Mocama Beer Company. All right, let's get back to our head coach, Coach Campo. As I said, I thought it was a great game plan. Just lay it out, Coach. I was going to steal it from you yesterday, but I'm like, no, Coach has got to explain this. How would you play Travis Hunter? How can you visualize this football team in Sunday's game with number 12?
Well, first of all, Joe, you know that this is obviously my opinion because we don't know exactly what they're going to do. But I think the way they put out their official depth chart tells the story. They've got Travis Hunter on offense as a starting wide receiver, okay? What we saw in training camp was, even though Parker Washington's had an outstanding camp, the offense was better when Travis Hunter was out there. Whether or not he caught the ball or not, whether or not he was making something happen or not, they were better. So I see them, that's the way they're going to go as far as the offense is concerned. He's going to be a big part of the practice. On defense, when you look at the depth chart, they actually have Tyson Campbell and Jordan Lewis as the starting outside cornerbacks. Now, if that's the approach that they're going to take, and I believe it is, because I think Jordan Lewis can play outside, especially on first and second down, where there's a lot of runs. It's a little bit more physical. And so if that's the package, they actually have Travis as a number 2, and they have Christian Braswell and Jerry and Jones as backup corners. I can see them with that depth chart. Jerry and Jones is the third corner if somebody got hurt. For example, if Tyson goes down, Jerry and Jones will go at corner. Okay, he's the third guy. He's the guy that in run downs, that's where he is. Travis Hunter on third down is going to come in, and Jordan Lewis is going to go to nickel. Now the great thing that shows is, listen, most of the time a corner, for example, Travis Hunter, if he's a cover corner, he could almost play the game without a helmet on. But if he's in that first and second down where they're running crack sweeps and tosses and linemen pulling out, that's not Travis Hunter's game. So to me, you got really 3 corners: Travis, Jordan, Lewis, and Tyson Campbell and Jerry and Jones. Those guys are your guys that are going to play on defense, and it's going to be by down and distance.
So, Coach, you anticipate the Jaguars playing a lot of base or more 4-2-5, and what have you seen from Bryce Young as far as coverage-wise, that stuff that you think he may struggle with?
No, they're going to be in nickel most of the time. I mean,
gotcha.
The team's going to come out and they're going to, get into the power offenses. That's when you're going to see, I guess, Gardock and Abdullah playing the Sam linebacker. That's when you're going to see those guys, but when they go 3 wides, they're going to nickel. So obviously there's going to be some times where you might not see Travis on the field, but most of the time George is going to go to nickel, and he's going to be in the game.
All right, so first off, don't throw that if Tyson Campbell gets injured voodoo on us.
That scared me too.
You can't do that, man. You cannot do that, okay? We know the injury history there. Don't do that. Secondly, it will also kind of depend on how well those corners play. Like if Jarian Jones is playing well and he's out there and you've got 3 corners out there, you kind of don't need to put Travis Hunter out there, right? You especially if he's like got a little momentum on offense, right? The game will dictate what you do, correct?
Absolutely, and really, to be honest with you, that's kind of what I'm saying from the standpoint of it's going to be spot situations, in my opinion, with Travis on defense, because really, in all honesty, Matt, he's a natural. He's an instinctive player that people can't run by. He can stop and start on a dime. If you said what's his best position, other than having to make a bunch of tackles, is the corner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can utilize that in key situations. And it might even be something like in the red zone where, you are playing, you got to play with quickness down there. That might be where he comes in. But I would say on third down for sure, because of his coverage ability, that would be where you see him most of the time.
All right, Coach Campo, as he breaks it down, we look at this game, and honestly, the discussion that we've had with Trevor more than anything else is, can he make quicker decisions, more accurate throws, and not make that fatal mistake, not turn the ball over? That's a three-pronged attack, Coach. That's hard to say everything's going to be fixed all at once. Honestly, but I do actually believe that it can all come together. In other words, if one thing goes right, maybe all those things will go right. What do you think about the project that is Trevor right now?
Well, first of all, that goes for everybody on there. What we're looking at.
Yeah, no kidding.
What we're looking at is we're going to find out in a lot of situations how well is Hainsey and Macari and protect. Can they run the football? How's that interior defensive line going to play? When it comes to Trevor Lawrence, to me, I saw enough improvement in his footwork and his ability to get the ball out quick because of the footwork and his ability to go from receiver to receiver, that I think that's going to be an improvement. The biggest one to find out is he going to make mistakes and turn the ball over? That's the biggest thing to me. I think we're going to see improvement in the first two. What we're going to find out is in that area, is he going to, not think, that he can make a throw when it's not there, or are they in the red zone and we got the 3 points? Let's not do something stupid and turn the ball over like the Cowboys did last night. That's going to be one of the keys right there.
Take the profit throws, and yes, take those points. But I made a note last night, and we can all jump in on this one. But Dak, everyone wanted to see what he looked like, because that was a major reconstruction to his hamstring, fellas, okay? We're talking screws and a lot of things that went into that hamstring. It wasn't just a soft tissue. Anyway, last night, he basically takes off and improvises, Coach. He dodges 2 defenders and just keeps his eyes up and looks down the field and makes an accurate throw under duress. Those are the beautiful pieces of artwork that a quarterback that is in control can do. Can you see that next level or next step from Trevor? Because honestly, that's what he does need to do.
Well, first of all, I think if he can step up, if they can protect him in front enough to where he can step up into throws into the pocket and then go lateral if he has to, I believe that you will see that. If he has to spin out like he normally does, I don't see that as being a positive. I see that as a negative. It's a difference. You saw Hurts last night, for example. You mentioned Dak. I think Dak had, how I feel about Dak. If I had Dak starting out, I'd still be coaching with the Cowboys, in my opinion. I think he's good enough to win ball games. But you saw Hurts, when they contained him early in the ball game, what killed him was that young Aziriaku, the outside rusher, was losing contain all the time.
Yeah.
So the second half, he didn't do that. But a couple times when they did contain him, what did he do? He ran up inside. That's what Trevor can do. If he's getting protected up front, he's going to have the ability to make those kind of decisions.
Yeah, by the way, Micah Parsons, not losing contain.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
That's not happening.
It's not happening. Absolutely. Not in the game of that magnitude. No. Now, Coach, listen, I agree with you. I think Trevor, we talk about how Trevor has to make the right decisions as far as passing the ball and taking the proper yards. But also, when you got the ability to run the ball, because we know Trevor's got wheels, you take the proper, you get that 5, 10, 15 yards, with running the ball when nothing else is open downfield.
Yeah, he has the same ability that Jalen Hurts has, to be honest with you, as far as running the football. He just has to be able to make those decisions. Do you hang in there and give a guy a chance to knock you down, or do you take the profit of here's a hole, I'm going to take off, and be smart enough when to go down? Those things are all part of that decision making. about whether or not to throw to the flat or throw a corner route or whatever it is, or not throw the ball, and take a sack if you have to. But those decisions are the thing. That's the thing that I think is going to be the most important thing about his improvement. He has to be able to do those kind of things, and he has the ability to do those kind of things.
Yes, something else to stress and put defense in conflict, no doubt. I mean, I don't think he's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is unique. He's also very athletic and very strong. He's not that type of runner, but
he doesn't have a pulse.
But to your point, Dave, when he does that little spin move, it's okay to run and get 4 or 5 yards because then it's 2nd and 5 instead of incomplete and 2nd and 10 or an interception and you got a turnover.
Yep, absolutely.
And we saw that more in camp. Don't you agree?
Yes, I agree. And I think the other thing is if we run the football, talk about Trevor Lawrence, if we run the football and play action with him, that's going to help a ton as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, so give us maybe 1 or 2 other things before we turn you loose that we haven't hit on that you think are real important for this game to go the right way. Go Duval's way.
Okay. Well, first of all, one of the things that I think is really important, which we have kind of touched on, is the ability to get the ball off and turn some of those short gains to the backside of the backfield, which Hurts did a great job with, by the way. Get the ball to the backs a little bit more to give them a chance to get out in space. That I think will give us a real opportunity, and I think we have the back to do that, especially if LaQuinn Allen is in there as far as the third down stuff. Get him the ball in the open field. Get Etienne the ball in the open field, not Tank Bugsby. Tank, don't give him the ball in open field. Let him run up inside and do all that stuff. That's one thing that I think can make a big difference because receivers are going to get covered, but get the ball out and get it to guys that can make some plays, in the open field. I think that's number one. Number two, I think what you saw from last night from Eberflus with Dallas in the second half, when he was having trouble with contain, they started forcing the contain, knowing which way he was going, and rock a guy around from the other side to contain the quarterback. I think the reason I bring that up is I think Campanile has to scheme some things in this ball game to get pressure on the quarterback, whether it's forcing him out of the pocket or keeping him in the pocket. I think that's one thing that Campanile can do. He's been around guys that know how to put pressure on the quarterback. Mm-hmm. That is something that we have to do. We talk about it all the time. Protect the quarterback and affect the quarterback. Right, Matt?
Yes, sir. You got that right.
Now, Coach Ingram told me to ask you, where does he go to get the all 22?
Oh, yes. First of all, I talked to Mark Duffner. He asked me the same thing.
Will you give us your password?
It's secret. It's top secret.
I don't have a password, but I can tell you the app.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure we get that to him.
Make sure we get it.
Listen, will you give us your Hulu login information?
Yeah, right.
YouTube tonight. YouTube TV tonight, Coach, for the Chargers and Chiefs.
Listen, it's NFL Plus Premium. That's how you get to it.
Okay. All right, we will take it. Listen, if anyone wants to give us a YouTube TV log on tonight, we will take it. That's for sure. All right, Coach, we love you, man. We will talk to you every week. Look forward to it and see if the Jaguars can come out on top.
I wish I was there, but this is the second best. I enjoy being with you guys, and hopefully next week we're going to have some real things to talk about.
Yeah.
Stay off those roads, Dave, all right? Stay off those crazy Dallas roads.
Be careful.
Bro. I got to stay away from these. I got to stay away from these Cowboys down here. That's the problem. Talking about
still
real
trying to
Cowboys, not football Cowboys.
Just yell every time. It wasn't me. It was Quincy. All right. Thank you, Coach.
See you later, guys.
See you, brother.
That's awesome. Coach Campo. Weekly, we will have him along with Coach Duff and Coach Ingram. We'll rotate our linebacker, our running back coach, and then we'll crank up both sides of the ball podcast on Tuesday with both of those fine gentlemen. All right, Mocama Beer Company, that's where we're hanging out. And I tell you what, the kitchen is just cranking out some smell-good food right now. You can get a delicious whatever you want that you want to order off the menu, along with some cold pints. And the craft beer is flowing here at Mocama Beer Company in beautiful Fernandina Beach.
XL Primetime, driven by Duval Ford. Follow the Florida Gators on 1010XL.
Gators!
The Gators hook horns with the South Florida Bulls. Kickoff at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,600 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. But only until September 30th. 18 months financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
I'm Chris Campo. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campo Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campo Law for a free consultation today. Campo Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampionLaw.com.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
If you're at home on the range, tee it up with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Tour news, local updates, and the latest gear. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Saturday morning at 10 on 1010XL.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
It's the start of our favorite season in Jacksonville, football season. Let's get hyped and let's get the home in tip-top shape and let's get that house zero-resified. Carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, they'll take care of you. Call the folks at Zero Res right now, 287-5727. Ask for the 1010XL special. Get your 3 rooms of carpet cleaned at $139 plus a 4th room free. Zero Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, Mocama Beer Company, we are close to the conclusion of our broadcast here till 2 this afternoon, but definitely would love for everybody to make plans to be at Mocama Beer Company whenever they can, whenever you're in beautiful Fernandina Beach or you're a member of Nassau County. Come on up here and enjoy it, especially when you get ready for Jaguar ball, any of the college games. You can take them all in here and enjoy some good craft. All right, let's say hello to our man from the TU.
Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Ryan O'Halloran, he is the columnist for the Florida Times Union. The Jaguars kicking off on Sunday. Had a good conversation with the head coach, Liam Cohen. Are we calling it a front page story, Ryan O'Halloran? Is that what it was?
Yes, the old A1 treatment.
You
Good
dang
to join
right.
you fellas today.
Yeah. Hey, listen, always good to have you. And that's an important story because if you are looking for the next chapter of this franchise, if it works, it's going to be good news for everybody, right?
Yeah, and I was trying to think of this. Is the last time I covered an offensive play caller who was the head coach was Joe Gibbs in 2004 with Washington. That's my first year covering the league. So I think this is a benefit for the Jaguars because fans are looking for hope. They're looking for, okay, who's going to be the guy who's in charge running this offense, trying to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence, get Brian Thomas touches, implement Travis Hunter, and then Liam Cohen's that guy as the play caller with a pretty good reputation from last year in Tampa Bay. So it was good to catch up with him. And, I asked him, I said, hey, when did this become a realistic goal? And he said, he thought 2022, but then when he was in Kentucky, he thought he'd be in college for a couple of years. So this was a burst onto the scene pretty quickly for Liam Cohen.
Now, Ryan, what is it that you would like to see from this team, this offense, this Trevor Lawrence this Sunday?
Well, Leon, they are going against one of the 4 worst rush defenses in the Super Bowl era. Carolina gave up 38 more yards than any other team in the NFL last year, and only 2 teams in the last 50 years have given up more rushing yards. So if you have 4 running backs active, rush it 40 times. Use your play action to put Trevor in good situations to make plays down the field to Thomas and Hunter. Work in Brenton Strange in the middle of the field if a linebacker has to come up and run support. So if I'm a Jaguar fan, I want to see a heavy run game with opportunistic in the pass game. That's not going to be the case every week because other teams have better players some weeks. So, but that would be the plan A if I'm Liam Cohen calling these plays on Sunday.
All right, Ryan, I'm fascinated by the sit down with Liam Cohen. Tell us what you learned from him that you didn't know and something that you think will help this franchise moving forward, not just this year, but beyond.
Yeah, I'll start with what I learned is I asked him point blank, I said, when you got here, was Trevor Lawrence broken mentally? And he says, that's a strong word, but he goes, he was frustrated because he hadn't reached heights. And he goes, it was my job right away to start meeting with him to say, hey, this is what my plan is, and start building him his confidence. And what I liked about what Liam admitted, Matt, and a lot of coaches don't do this. He goes, they slugged it out a couple times in the meeting sessions. Okay, they went back and forth, and I said, well, that beats the alternative. He goes, 100%. He goes, I don't want a yes sir guy. He goes, that's not that's not how you get better. And so those constructive conversations have been beneficial for both for the quarterback and the head coach. And I think if I'm a fan of the Jaguars, and okay, what am I clinging to with Liam Cohen? It's just the body of work last year, and that was a terrible running game in Tampa Bay that he made top 5 in red zone, top 5 in third down. You look at across the board, they were good on offense. And really, if you're a Jaguar fan, you've seen enough bad offense and bad strategy the last couple of years. And that should be the thing that should excite fans the most is the innovation and the creativity has returned on offense.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. We're talking with Ryan O'Halloran. You can find him on X. You can find him at the TU sports columnist. You can find him at Jacksonville.com. The idea that everyone runs the same thing, and Liam said it earlier in one of his pressers, we all run the same plays. And to a degree, I agree. But at the same time, it is the innovation that you're talking about, the way you formationally fool people on the other side. Not everybody's running the same stuff all the time. That's what Liam has to unlock here, a good offense.
Yeah, and I've talked to a couple of linemen about this in the last couple of weeks. Is okay, everybody knows the numbers about the run game. What's the difference? And they said he runs sort of the same stuff out of different variations, but he also capitalizes on what they do well. He's not going to call a play that the old lineman can't execute. And I think the other thing where he gained a lot of traction with Tampa Bay last year and you could see it in these practices in training camp, big-time screen team. And those are easy yards. Get the ball to ETN. Get the ball to Bigsby. Get him in space and get him downfield. Get him on the edges. So I think that's going to be a big component for this team. And hey, everybody runs the same stuff. They just call it differently. So starting Sunday, it's up to the players. Hey, we believe in the plan. Now it's our job to execute it.
Yeah. Ryan, you know what? I appreciate Liam Cohn. I like the fact that he has the direct approach, all right? I mean, he comes in the press the first time he gets here and says, hey, Trevor has to work on his footwork. He calls Anton Harrison out. He says, hey, Anton, he's good when he wants to be good. So I can appreciate that as a player, that he comes in direct and tells you if there's an issue with you, I'm going to let you have it.
Yeah, and the key is that he probably had that conversation internally first, and and then talked about it with the media. And one thing it was interesting about Cohen's honesty on Monday was he was asked about Travis Hunter. Travis missed a lot of practice time in August with that injury. And he basically intimated a little bit, hey, there's still a little bit of an onboarding here for this rookie. That is a lot of time to miss practices and games. I don't care how high you're drafted. So that's why my expectations are probably a little more reserved for Hunter this weekend, because he has missed so much time. But that's just being honest as well. And I kind of like that from a head coach. We'll see. Right now, they're 0-0. They haven't kept score yet. Let's see how he handles, some of the adversity that comes his way.
All right, so you also obviously follow FSU and Florida State as the columnist for the TU. You are the columnist. You know that, Ryan. So that's
I do.
Your name, whether you like it or not. That's it.
Yeah. Sounds
All
good.
right, so Florida State, the huge win against Alabama. How critical is that, do you think, for Mike Norvell and that program moving forward?
I think it's big, and it was great being there last week to watch that game. Is one of the best games of the weekend outside of Notre Dame, Miami. And I think what I wrote that day is, hey, they're probably not going to beat Alabama, but at least look like you've been coached. At least look functional. Well, they did more than that. They kicked Alabama's behind in the trenches, which shouldn't happen to a team like Alabama. But one thing that stood out in person, Matt, was they are fast, defense and offense. Offense, they got into space. Gus Malzahn had a lot of tricks up his sleeve with motions and shifts and footwork and this and that and the other. And then on defense, those guys up front got after it with the pass rush and the run game. So I think it was a critical building block for Florida State. Now the soft underbelly of the schedule: East Texas A&M, Kent State, and let's go at Virginia. They should be 4-0 going into that Miami game in Tallahassee next month.
Yeah, the other half of that, though, is like you said, will they keep that energy level and commitment level up when they see three softies? That's really going to be the challenge for Mike Norvell, because you are right. They could relax a little bit. That relax gene could pop up.
Well, you can relax a lot, I think, tomorrow. And then Kent State hasn't been very good in the Mid-American Conference. So I think the next couple of weeks are, okay, what's your depth going to look like once you get into league play? Give a lot of guys playing time if your starters can handle it. But with Castellanos at quarterback, his health is going to be paramount. But he looked like he was pretty smart in terms of when to go down and avoid the big hit against Alabama, because he's going to have the football in his hands a ton moving forward.
Yeah, all that talk in the offseason made sure he got down. That's for sure. All right, buddy, we appreciate it. Rah, 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 I like to say, Ryan O'Halloran. You can find him on X and Jacksonville.com with the Florida Times Junior. Thanks, bud.
All right, take care, fellas.
All right, let's keep it going. Mocama Beer Company hanging out here. You got Helmets and Heels coming up at 2 o'clock with a couple special guests that you can look forward to as we keep talking ball all the way to kickoff.
XL Primetime.
Driven by Duval Ford.
Hayes Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Jacksonville, get ready. Comedian Chris D'Elia is coming to Florida Theater November 30th with his brand new tour, Straight Out of the Multiverse.
Like, yo, you can't just make up a saying like you're Yoda and then the conversation's over. You gotta mean something when you talk. And don't tweet a picture of of a salad.
It's bold, it's wild, and it's Chris D'Elia like you've never seen him before. Live on stage for one night only. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com. floridatheater.com.
Guess what? That would be random.
Chris D'Elia, November 30th at Florida Theater.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails. All in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape. And you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
How many Major League Baseball players have played exclusively for the Yankees and the Mets?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Just 6 Major League players have played exclusively for the Yankees and the Mets, including the famous Yankee catcher Yogi Berra.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit cssfireplaces.com.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, fellas, my takeaway is this Sunday, I want to see something new, something fresh, something ideal. I don't want to walk into the movies with the popcorn and see the same old movie I'm used to seeing.
No kidding. Golly.
The dysfunction, I'm putting all that aside. New regime, new era, new year for Jackson.
Yes.
That's what I want. I want wins, babe. I want dubs. That's what I want.
Yeah. I want impact plays.
Mm-hmm.
I want guys on both sides of the ball to where you're like, whoa, that dude is a dude. You know what I mean?
That'll help get you the dub.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last 20-something games has just been like, you got a bunch of guys running around out there. I want somebody that can actually affect the game on both sides of the ball. If that's Trevor Lawrence, great. If that's Josh Hines Allen, great. Doesn't have to be, but that's great if it is. Look, and here's another. We were talking about Trevor Lawrence and the mistakes. I don't mind interceptions. Fumbles is what I mind. Mm-hmm. Fumbles are a big deal. Interceptions are fine because you're trying to make a play. Fumbles are terrible. Protect the ball.
Oh, yeah. It goes back to Tom Coughlin, the callous disregard for the ball. You cannot cough it up. Chris McClain said something earlier. The Mac Attack covers Carolina on F&Z up there. He said when Bryce Young came back off the bench, he had, what was it, 11 scores and no
10
turnovers?
touchdowns,
10 and no?
10 to no, yeah.
Okay, so 10 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. If you look at the 10 games that Trevor played last year, it was 11 scores and 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Okay? So those things can't happen. You can't trade those types of things. And this, I'll remind everybody, that was a piece of history, what the Panthers did a year ago. No team had given up more points in a season ever than the Carolina Panthers. Points per game, 31 plus is what it was. I think it was 31.4.
Yeah.
Anyway, they sucked on that side of the ball. This team scored less than 19, maybe even less than 18. You've got to score points in this ball game. No Iquanu. Josh Hines-Allen better bust Bryce Young's behind. Coming off of the edge, I shouldn't say we're not going to have Iquanu because we don't know, but after an appendectomy, he's trying to practice today. He can't possibly be 100%, can he, Leon?
No, absolutely not. No.
And so you got to take advantage of that.
Well, there are shots and medicines for that too.
Sure, that's true. That's true.
But at some point, those shots and medicine wear off.
Absolutely, yes.
But I just can't imagine the core area. I don't know.
Nah, he's not gonna play.
I'll
be surprised if he does play.
Okay, I think he'll try, but we'll find out based on practice today. But score points against a team that gave up a lot of points. That's pretty simple to say, harder to do, but I can't wait to see what the play action looks like, what the run game looks like, what they might be able to do on that front and get to a point where you do feel like this team has that excitable meter, that trigger button.
And, bro, come out with some energy, bro.
Yeah,
first home game in the season, come on.
Yeah. All right, so we'll find out. All right, let's keep the energy up with this next show. We call it Helmets and Heels.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
You talk about energy. He brought the sauce back in the day, Tommy Mack. He was always fired up, right? You whipped yourself into a frenzy, didn't you?
Yeah, head butts, head banging the wall, all that kind of fun stuff. You know, that's what we grew up in that era. So whatever it took, Joe, whatever it took.
Exactly. Never slinging saliva at anybody, though, right?
You know, I thought it was kind of weird he didn't hit him in the face with it. You know what I mean? I was like, if you're going to spit at somebody, you spit them in the face, not like in their shoulder. What does that even say? So it's kind of weird. Yeah, what a crazy a string of events to start off our season last night.
Yeah.
Tommy, did you ever spit on another player?
No. And you know what? I wasn't a trash talker. I usually said the same words, that started M, F, and maybe P, something like that. That's about all I had. That's it.
Yeah. But you backed it up with play. You just tried to bust their head open. It's basically what you tried to do, and that's all. That's what it's all about. It was a good game last night, bro. I would love to have seen Jaylen Carter, but that was a chump move on his part. So, all right, what do you guys got coming?
Well, we got the great Luke Kuechly coming on. He's part of the Carolina Panthers broadcast team. So looking forward to catching up with the Hall of Famer. Should already be in, of course. I don't know why he didn't get in, but nonetheless, considered one of the greatest backers of all time, and we'll talk to him about the Carolina Panthers and what they're feeling up there as they head down to Jacksonville for week 1. And then at 3 o'clock, we kick it off a weekly segment on Helmets and Heels with defensive tackle Eric Armstead. So looking forward to catching up with the big man and seeing what 2025 looks like for number 91.
Well, listen, I'm doing a Jaguar rosary that he's fully healthy. The back miraculously is back to 100%. Hands up, bats and balls down, and knock down quarterback. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, Tommy, thanks, man.
See you, fellas. Have a great weekend.
All right, Helmets and Heels coming up, and definitely a good conversation with them. Good conversation here. We had a great time. Don't forget, make Mocama one of your stops. Enjoy some of this delicious craft. Don't forget, they just created that new Hefeweizen Wise Zen. They released it last week. You can buy it in 6-packs. You can enjoy it right here at the tap room. And at the end of the month, we'll be telling you all about their Oktoberfest celebration.
What's your score, real quick? I got 27-13, Jack.
27-13. I'm going to go 23-19.
24-14, Jags.
Okay, we got dubs. All right, we're done. Thanks to JJ back in JJville. We had a great time here at Mocama. Helmets coming up next.
XL Primetime, driven by big number